has anyone given a master class where it is listen only? And I'm curious how that went, and if you felt the algorithm was in your favor, or did you feel like you were only kind of um, exposed to a very small group of potential people who would learn about your room? Any thoughts would be very helpful. I'm Dr. Elizabeth.
Michelle, do you have that experience?
So I have not hosted that type of room, but I have been in rooms where that was the case. It was a masterclass type room, and there was just the moderator on stage by themselves, and they were just giving out their wisdom. I don't know if it's because I have come to see Clubhouse as an app that mm, really encourages collaboration. So for me, that's what it's all about. And I did not stay in that room because I felt like they're just, it was like I think Katie, you had said that it was just static. And um like I went to an author conference, a virtual author conference this summer, and there were classes that you could listen to that were static because they were pre-recorded, but there were also there was a Facebook group that you could post to, and there were what did they call them? They were like these Zoom calls that were live, that were in between, and I like that. So if you're gonna have and I've been in master classes before off of the app where there is an element of collaboration and ability to ask questions. And I just prefer that. I not really that's just my personal preference. Um so I don't know, Katie, have you?
For me, something that I've been trying, and I'm not giving a master class, but I am giving, if you click into my profile on the bottom there, I have some receive a inspiration, which is where I just free flow and talk about something a theme, a concept that I feel drawn to for the day. It's a pop-up thing that I do for 10 minutes only, and I just talk and talk. And I mean, I didn't really ever say to people to kind of tell them, raise your hand. So I'm not expecting anyone to talk with me. And then nobody does. And then I'm like, well, now I'm done with what I had to share, and now I close it out. And I found that I took some screenshots, and a few people have then listened or replayed it later on. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's maybe it's enjoyable for some people when they've come to my profile, then they get like a flavor or a sense of how I present things. And so that's what I can share for that, my experiment. But I also want to say maybe with Michelle, what you're talking about, you getting bored or like not wanting to stay there because it feels static because it's like a broadcast and you won't be able to engage and interact. So yeah, so it's important to at one in the beginning and then somewhere midway or as people join in, then tell them I have been going over like four key points on something something, and now on point number three, whatever. And so keep listening in or come back to listen to the beginning of this later on, so that you can catch where the all the notes that I want to present, and also to maybe take out your notepad so that you can write this down. Something like that maybe would be helpful to catch people up on where you are in your lecture, your presentation. So it's not like, where they feel lost, I guess. And I
Well,
also
and
love,
you're totally right because that particular moderator did not even, it's almost like there wasn't even an audience. Like there didn't even need to be an audience, like they weren't even acknowledged. So it was kind of weird.
yeah, yeah, I know. And that, I feel like I've seen that a lot a while back, a few months ago, because maybe some people were thinking this is a podcast or they're coming in to do a podcast, or they're just mainly just selling something. So They just tell people this is my course and these are the key ideas that I'm talking through and come to wherever to get the rest of it. Um, so the other thing I want to say, I love Michelle, how the like when we had a few weeks back because we were all talking about replays a lot, and because you some of the rooms you hold are have sensitive content in them, so I love that maybe a portion of it where you it's a segment of where you talk through your main key ideas or teaching something, a lesson or keynotes to share, and then you transition over to your an informal room where the replay is off. So I also like that idea, that thought, and especially now we can pin your next room onto the top before you close out and before everyone leaves you. So, but I'll stop there, and maybe Dr. Elizabeth, you have something to share.
No, that is great. Michelle, I appreciated your insight and Katie as well. And I think if I did it, it would be probably a shorter talk and maybe just to use that for repurposing purposes and then let people know that we'll be opening up another room kind of for the overflow and for Q&A. I'm a big fan of, even if it's a master class, to carve out ideally 15 to 20 minutes for Q&A. And I just have the heart of a teacher. And I feel like there's a lot of material I'd like to share, but you're right, this may not be the right format, but maybe I'll just experiment. I do have a club, and it's kind of fun to get a sense of who's interested in what, and I really appreciate both of your insights. I have to jump for a call. But this has been wonderful. And Katie, really good to see you. I know we know each other, and I really wish you a happy Thanksgiving in New Zealand.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good time with the rest of the week, and see you later, Dr. Elizabeth.
Yeah, hope to let us know how it goes. That's the great thing about Clubhouse too, is that you can experiment and see what works and what doesn't.
All right. I mean, I want to welcome everyone once again. Verlette, Joy, Lisa, Asaya, Shashank, welcome, Robert, Bree. Just to recap, I went over the avatars, which are 4 different characters that people, the roles that they play when they're in the room, no matter where they are in the room. So I would say the uh, number 1 is the lead creator, which right now is myself, and number 2 is the co-moderator, co-leader, co-host, which right now is Michelle. And then the third one is a special guest panel, which also is Michelle, or it was Dr. Elizabeth before she left. And number 4 is I feel like it's the caller or the new guests in the room who may be joining us. The focus is on you, the audience, really, because is everyone playing their part to provide a great listening experience for everyone? I'm always trying to do my best to move past the PTR order of where everyone is just introducing themselves to where we get to popcorn around. And I understand it takes time to get everyone to get comfortable